Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work. Hard work. Earn more pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Ready to go and earn more pay. Hard work, work. Put the boots on and lace them up. Hard work, work. Another day to work. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work. Hard work. I earn my pay. Hard work, work.
Attention in the talk! Hey everybody, what's going on? This is The Talk. A new show that we just started up. I'm very excited. This show is not going to be like any other show that myself or Evo have ever done. Coop, this is your first time ever being on a podcast, but I'm pretty excited for this very first one. This is a bullshitting show. That's the kind of shows that everybody likes. They just turn on. Sounds like you're chopping it up with your boys, and luckily enough, that's exactly what we get to do. We're going to sit around. We're going to bullshit. We're going to talk like we used to talk back in the talk. I don't know how many more times I can say talk in the same sentence, but I bet it's quite a few.
Yeah, this is
so, guys. Thank you for being on the show, and thanks for finally getting this thing going.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's introduce ourselves. Let's tell everybody kind of what we're here to do, who we are, why we wanted to do this, and then we'll get to the meat of the show, which is the drinking and the bullshit.
Alrighty. I'll start off since you already did a little bit of talking, Mike, but I'm Evo, Stan, whatever you want to call me. My pronouns are he, him, and hey, fuck face. Did just under 8 years in the Army, and you've probably seen me, if you're seeing this channel, you might have seen me on the Lyman Lounge as well, Mike and I's sports podcast. I also do a little bit of gaming on YouTube, Norski Gaming, which is about to kick off right in the beginning of September. That's when I'm really going to get into it. So glad to be here, and just understand that this is us bullshitting just like we used to back in the day. Like, we might have to edit some stuff out because being veterans, we got some dark sense of humor and some fucked up thoughts. So if you're offended, that's okay. Like, it's normal. It's natural to be offended, and you can just get over it, I guess.
Yeah, because we're not going to change.
No.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Matt here. Yep, like you said, first time doing a podcast. Not the first time on a live webcam, though. So there's that.
OnlyFans, baby.
Didn't really have to talk too much in that one, though. So, yeah, similar. Same with Evo. Actually, all of us did the same kind of time. Just under 8 years in the service. Best and worst times of my life, of course, but wouldn't trade it for the world. Super pumped to be on this podcast and just kind of bullshit with the guys. You know, I mean, we don't really have this kind of group anymore. It's not like being in the Army, being a civilian. You know, you can't just sit here and shoot the shit, talk about things that probably shouldn't be talked about, especially in this PC world. So
that's the
there will be part. Editing.
we used to be all co-located together, but you know, work life after the Army, even in the Army, I mean, that's, you get to a unit, a little platoon or whatever, your squad, you become like family, but you're only there together for maybe 3 years, and then you know, split off and go your separate ways. But it's nice to be able to have a little forum where we can get back to talking about old times and things that make us laugh and make our dark heads tick.
Yep. Make our wives proud.
Oh
yeah. Actually, my wife is actually sitting down here eagerly listening to like what shit's gonna come out of my mouth.
I know,
because she's very excited for this show when it finally airs. We are not doing these live, at least not for a while. We're not doing these live.
Some of the stuff that we're gonna go over, is probably gonna get a little reaction out of her, I'm sure.
I should probably have Lacey out here with a little stick, like tapping my leg, like, "Hey, shut up, stop." That's all right.
We can do the bleep button if we need to.
So
right.
Yes, it's very important. All right, so I am Mike. Sleeveless Mike is what I affectionately go by because I don't ever fucking wear sleeves. You guys see the cast. I got into a car accident, but getting better. Still got a lot of shit to deal with. Still dealing with pain, which is going to help make this show very interesting tonight, as I have to take some medicine here in just a little bit.
I'm sure that one was prescribed.
But yeah, definitely prescribed. Maybe not to me, but it was definitely prescribed
To somebody.
Amber has her medical card, so
prescribed from Jesus.
Right.
From Jesus. He put it in the earth.
Yeah.
For all of us.
You might as well just start your own garden.
I know. So just like these guys said, part of the Army, 8.5 years for me. We all flew drones. We all say UAS. I don't know about you guys. I hate when fucking people say, "Oh, you're a drone pilot." I can't stand that. Drones are little toys. But also I want to interact with people on a normal basis. What is that sound?
That's Matt's vibrator going off, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Damn, was that loud?
It's
one
of the remote
fucking
controlled
loud.
ones that Lacey's in there controlling. That's how she's
I don't
tapping
think
with
that
the
was
stick.
me.
That was incredibly loud.
She wasn't supposed to take that out yet. Sorry.
He needs that strong one for that thick body.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So yeah, 8.5 years in the Army for me. Now I'm just a fucking college student. I do another podcast with Evo, the Lyman Lounge, and generally just trying to not have a normal job ever again. The Army kind of fucked that up for me. I don't ever want to work for somebody ever again in my entire life. I want to work for myself or just do little gig bullshit on the side. But luckily, I've been able to work my way to where I don't really have to work anymore. So that's fantastic as well. Thank you, big Army.
Awesome. All right. So part of the show is, and for anyone that's watching with us, you can drink along with us. But what are we all drinking tonight, gentlemen?
Well, I got just a little glass of Buffalo Trace going on.
Classic.
I do like ice in my Buffalo Trace. Well, really just whiskey in general. But, you can probably tell that I'm on a diet.
Give me the rocks.
So,
yeah,
I
keep
the
lean
soda.
and mean.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike?
So for me, I am still kind of in recovery mode. I have not been drinking very much. So I got just one big ass Simply Spiked lemonade. I am not trying to drink anything heavy. I'm not trying to drink too much. I have a diabetic grandma bladder, so one beer is plenty. But I did have to have a piece of, candy to make sure that the day goes so much better than what it has gone.
Perfect.
Well, makes
sense. That's going to be delicious in about 20 minutes.
All right. Well, for me, I'm going with an old classic can of Busch Light, Tall Boy.
Yeah, that Busch Latte.
It's
Busch Latte.
Near and dear to my heart as far as light, shitty beers go, because I didn't know this, a little story about me, but growing up, I would go to Illinois to hang out with my grandfather and grandmother for maybe a week or two every summer. Started when I was like maybe 5 or something like that. But my grandfather, and I didn't understand this at the time, he was the president of a motorcycle club. So I don't know their affiliations or any of this stuff, but I just thought like, oh, this is a club of people who like motorcycles. Cool. And I was like in the clubhouse and stuff all the time. And he taught me how to ride motorcycles, hunting, fishing, stuff like that. It was awesome. But one of our routines was every morning we'd get up, we'd go to the clubhouse, we'd fill up a cooler with ice, and then we'd go and get a 12-pack of Busch. I thought it was just shitty soda. But from a very young age, I was drinking Busch Light, and now it just tastes nostalgic to me. Like, I love it. So cheers to you, boys.
The good old days.
To kind of get us
fucking grandpa coming in strong with the beers at a young age.
R.I.P. But hey, I love it. But to get us kicked off and to kind of let everyone know what the show is about and that sort of dark humor I'm talking about, like I said, we all did unmanned aircraft stuff. So that kind of leads into this little first clip we're going to show here that might give a little background into that humor and what we do.
What's the difference between a Taliban?
Oh man.
So that flips back.
You don't ever
the sad truth to that video.
So I can say that I've never done that. Only bad guys.
Right.
But
I can't say. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, so I never had one that they're like, oh no, that was a good guy. But then we've had some misses. There was like, I don't really know where that thing went.
I haven't had any that were like
So
that was like you just ended children's lives, right? But I have had like, hey, I need you to just go and shoot that. Like, but why? But those guys are bad. Are you sure? Okay.
hey,
You know,
if someone
but
else
we
is
just
writing
don't.
the
We
check-
just don't think about those ones.
yeah. I'm lucky enough to have a clear conscience on the whole situation.
Right.
But I know it's not always the case, but you know, c'est la vie, such is life, you know?
It happens.
It happens. All righty.
God damn it, Des. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at that already.
No, it's all good. So
Start off real dark right out the gate.
a lot of what the show is going to be, though, is us like grabbing TikToks and stupid shit or whatever to bullshit over, just like we normally wouldn't talk. We don't really have anything, I think, that is off the table as far as talking about it. So people who watch the show, we got to set something up where if people find something that they think is a funny TikTok for us to go over, or whoever's on the show to go over, they can send that in to us and let us know about it.
Send a little mailbag.
Right.
Yeah. But with that, I guess we can kind of just go round the table and talk about what you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go first. I got some stuff pulled up already, ready to go. We're going to start with a topic that I think is awesome, near and dear to my heart, but also people cannot stand it because there's a good chance at some point it's going to fucking kill us. So AI, 5,000 years of accumulated human knowledge and know-how. Chat GPT just burning your motherfucking house down. Dude, I don't know if you guys have used any of these AIs, but they are fucking awesome. So I shouldn't like them. I should be just up in arms against AI because I'm a film student and everybody in the film industry hates AI. I think it's fucking awesome. It has helped me do so much shit that I don't know how to do. But at the same time, it's going to turn on us and we're all going to fucking die. I've seen Terminator, all of them. Eventually, Skynet's coming in here and it's going to absolutely fucking obliterate us. So, guys, have you done any of the AI stuff? You guys like the AI? Are you worried that AI is going to pop off and do some crazy shit?
I mean, I'm kind of, I feel like in the same boat. It worries me, and the potential of it being like really bad is definitely out there. I think where it's at right now is not that big of a deal. As far as using the AI chat stuff, I haven't really done anything. The closest that I've done was it was called like do you got Riz or something like that, where you're having to have a back and forth with an AI to see if you can get them to fall for you type thing. And it felt very
trying
salacious.
to riz up the AI.
Yeah. And of course your boy did it, but
yeah, of course. I mean, I expected nothing less.
Wally wanted my dick real bad. So
I feel like those pinchers though would be a little bit, you know, I'm thinking like teeth vibes.
Yeah, I don't really feel like fucking a robot.
Well, yeah. So if it's giving off teeth vibes, I'm not doing any of that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Teeth. I know, Matt, you obviously have. You stick your dick in her vagina, that shit's gone.
Yeah.
Like that is a terrifying experience.
I'm already operating with barely enough to get by, so I don't need any less.
Yeah. I feel you.
The shit's kind of scary for sure, though. Like you're seeing how it is still failing right now, but it's only a matter of time before the stuff just gets that much smarter. I'm 34, 34, and I remember, using old timey computers where you put the floppy 3.5-inch disc in there to like play Oregon Trail or some shit like that. And where we're at now, where I can get like instant, the most fucked up porn on my computer instantly in VR if I want to, like crazy fucking world we live in. It's like
Wait,
AI
you can have it
is,
make porn?
I don't know,
I'm
but
sure you can.
I'm sure you can.
I bet you there is
Actually,
definitely AI that makes porn.
I've
yeah.
actually no, I have heard of this as far as porn pictures. I don't know about the videos or whatever, but there's apparently people who have been doing that on OnlyFans, where they
Really?
will have the chatbot create pictures. They'll give it like prompts of like 3 or 4 porn stars or something like that, and be like, make a nude image of a chick that looks like these chicks
That's
together, or
crazy.
something like that.
Y-
They'll
y-
put them and they'll post like one picture a day, and they're making money.
You know, that's crazy because it kind of segues into my thought. Because see, my thought on AI isn't necessarily the Terminator style destruction of the world as much as it is like infiltrating and basically killing off the human race from just lack of recreation of humans. Like they literally have AIs now or they have those apps that are like simulated girlfriend or simulated boyfriend. We already have a problem.
And those
I got
fucking wild sex robots they got now,
Oh,
those things are actually
All right.
designed to be fucked.
Now we're
Can
going to
you
get into the
finance-
nitty gritty of it. Now we're going to get into the nitty
Yeah,
gritty
here
of
we
it, okay?
go.
Because we've all been deployed, right? And
Yeah,
it gets
of course.
lonely out there sometimes. So there's, of course, always the old faithful, the handy, right? You know, jimmying yourself off. Who brought a pocket pussy with them on deployment?
Oh
Did not.
man, I wish so bad,
I did.
so bad that I would have
I did. I still got old faithful underneath the sink right now.
the same one.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
we go back. We go back.
God.
All right, I'm a faithful.
You guys
dude.
have been together for a long time.
I'm a faithful guy. We went to war together, okay?
Yeah.
We both have seen some really bad
God.
things. All right.
Oh shit.
So, but at the end of the day, I can tell you, it doesn't compare to the real thing. And so, unless they're able to really make that sort of a technological advancement where I can't tell the difference, I'm still always going for the actual lady. I mean, no robots fooling me.
Number one.
Yeah, but look at our youth now though. Like no one leaves the damn house, you know. So like if you start giving these young like boys, like the majority of these young men, just the ability to just get that sort of attention from at the click of a button, which they're already getting it with porn, right? So like it just further separates that. I think that'll be the destruction through AI. It's funny. I watched a video and I don't know if you guys ever heard of the experiment called Universe 25.
No.
Basically, I'll give you a short synopsis. It was a scientist, I think it was like in the 60s, 70s, whatever. He built a utopia for mice, right? And he put where basically they could live there.
I do know what this is.
Yeah, where they put like 6 or 7 mice in here. They had all the food they could eat. They had everything they could survive with for as long as they need, you know. And basically, they watched this generation or this life cycle or this universe of mice evolve, and they watched them, and it essentially grew to where they started making babies. They grew exponentially, and then it got to a point where they kind of stopped making babies. The mothers started they started ignoring their children. They started being separated to stop mating. Males started mating with males till eventually, like 600 something days in, they got to a point where it literally just died off and everybody died. All the mice died. So there's some longer videos on even TikTok has a few videos on it. But that is what I see. Like it's crazy if you start looking at where we're at in the world now and comparing it to that experiment and how kind of like they are. But
there's been some markers and identifiers of downfall of humanity coming with certain things like changing genders and homosexuality and stuff like that. Like it was apparently, and I've seen this on like Rogan's podcast where he's talked to some historians or something like that, and they're like, yeah, it's kind of a sign of like when society gets this advanced, like all of a sudden it'll crumble and come back. So
builds back up.
Yeah.
Well, and I've talked. I'm not talking. I've seen the things on Rogan where they say that there used to be an ancient civilization that was far more technologically advanced than we are at this point, and then they died off because some sort of extinction level event. And now we're building back up, and then we're headed back in that same direction. It's entirely possible if you consider the pyramids and all that other shit. But AI, I don't know if that it's going to be such an interesting way in the way it's used, because it has immense potential to cause damage, but it has a huge potential to really help people as long as it's used the right way. However, stealing people's work and things like that, not great. So like all those people who are in Hollywood, complaining and having on the strikes, I get it. But at the same time, if you're not using AI and it's taking your job, why the fuck aren't you using AI? Like, I use AI all the time. I had to write a marketing plan. I've never written a marketing plan in my entire fucking life. You know who has? Chat GPT. So I could tell Chat GPT, hey, I need a fucking marketing plan. This is what we're working with. And then I can manipulate it, and I can take bones and pieces, and I can, hey, look at this awesome thing that I totally created because I told the AI what to do.
Hey, I've heard that with college papers and stuff now, that you can basically give it the prompt, have it shit out the college paper, but the people who just turn that in are the ones that are getting caught for the plagiarism. You got to go in,
yeah,
and
because
then
those are fucking morons.
yeah, it's giving you the bare bone work that you need to, all of your research essentially, and creating a premise for you. You have to go in and adjust the things to make it yours, but that could definitely save you a lot of time and effort. It's not getting what college wants you to do, learn this stuff necessarily, but you're learning how to utilize your resources.
Yeah.
Right. And I've used it with, cause I recently started doing my little RV rental stuff. And so I use that to kind of produce me some welcome letters and some, just rental contracts in general. It's been great. Even trying to figure out my LLC situation, as far as that goes. So, and the thing that I think that is crazier is that what we have access to with ChatGPT isn't even the extent of what it is. You know what I mean? We only have access to probably 6 inches worth, which is a lot. Like,
yes,
a lot, of course.
A lot. It is a lot.
I mean, it's something I aspire for, honestly.
Right. But I mean, it's probably like anaconda size. You know what I mean? So
Black Mamba. So. Well, speaking of shaft type things and the devolving of society, we got a video here from Matt that he wanted to share.
Oh my gosh, this video.
What is happening? Oh God. Oh.
He's missing a lot of skin on him there.
Oh my gosh. I just want to know, why did he think that was going to be a good idea?
Well,
why was he even up there?
I mean, in a professional
you gotta
workplace
test
setting,
it, right?
Right. Well, I mean, was he chasing a child? Like, was there a burglar? You like, bad guy went up there and then that was his fastest way down? Or, what was going through his head?
I mean, look, you would think that a slide in general you should be safe on, but one of those slides where it's like still like chrome metal, bare metal, those are normally hot as fuck. So you just stay away from that. And then he came rocketing down pretty fucking fast.
Did he leap through that motherfucker to get that much speed?
I'm not even sure. Like, it was a complete surprise when that dude came shooting out the back of that thing. I was like, holy shit. I thought it was a dummy at first. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was like, some green screen action going on. But
look, it was in Boston. He had probably been out arresting prostitutes, whoas all night, and covered just in lube and glitter. So it really sped him up. No, well,
I seen a couple videos afterwards where people went and tried to go down the slide, and it wasn't that. It wasn't like that. It just had to be all of the, the plastic and his utility belt, anything else. I mean, but even just thinking about that, actually, I didn't even think about that before. But like, what if his weapon went off or something discharged while he was going down that fucking? Oh man, hilarious.
I can tell you that once I get to the bottom of that thing, I'm fucking furious. If I'm that police officer, I'm like, who the fuck built this thing? Why is it shooting? Because I'm going to assume it is just yeeting children out into the middle of the fucking playground. If it's doing that to me, a grown man,
Yeah.
what could this possibly be doing to a child?
Hey, you know, kudos to the engineers though. That thing held up pretty well. Like, and mission accomplished. I wonder if it's like new age type parks regulations that built that, or if it, or how old that park is. Because I feel like you couldn't even get a slide like that nowadays.
I don't know what sort of ghetto you
much
grew
red
up in.
tape.
I grew up in nice Minneapolis suburbs. We had big ass slides like that around.
Well, yeah.
I'm telling you, if I saw that as a kid, I'm absolutely going down it.
100%.
Fun as fuck.
Yeah. But I'm saying the new slides, you know, now you got
the metal slides are kind of out, aren't they?
Yeah, there's so many different safety precautions, and then it's also got to be like handicap accessible. Like everything's got to be super wide. Like
Does
you're gonna
the
drive a
fit in it?
wheelchair up it for some of these slides. I don't know.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a kid coming down a slide in a wheelchair.
That slide specifically.
Yeah.
Because when he hits the ground, he is going to have enough momentum to pull off whatever stunt he wants at the opposite end.
Oh, yeah.
The kid Wheels, who's in, what's that shit that Travis Pastrana does?
Nitro Circus?
Nitro Circus, yeah.
Yeah.
That kid is in Nitro Circus if he makes it down that fucking slide in the wheelchair, especially if there's a ramp at the end.
Yeah. Well, if he's going down that fast,
he's a fucking orbit.
It's going to be like Back to the Future. If he reaches too much speed, he's going to gone.
So the real question is what lawsuit comes from that video, right? And does the slide make it through the lawsuit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a lawsuit shows up, I don't think there is a slide anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that if there would be a lawsuit. I'm not saying that there is or isn't.
I mean, a government employee probably coming after a government entity just wouldn't help him in his career, unless he wants to be like, I have emotional damages from being plastered all over the internet. And so I need millions of dollars from the city of Boston because I can't go out in public anymore.
Like if I ever got pulled over by that guy, you know,
like, oh, you're the fucking slide guy.
Sir, you're going a little bit too fast. You know how fast you're going? Not as fast as you in that slide, motherfucker. You need to slow the fuck
down. Exactly. Oh God. That video made my taint hurt. Like it was.
Oh yeah, he
emotional damage. Yeah,
he grinded.
Yeah.
All right, so we all got special ladies in our lives. Ones that we do amorous activities with, I assume.
Right.
So I got a little clip for you guys here that's near and dear to my heart.
Ooh. Now I just sitting here on a golf cart with Dummy, and I was thinking, girls that I gotta say it quietly, girls that hold their own butt cheeks over when they getting hit from the back be good people at heart. Hey, Dummy.
That's a shout out to the lady in my life, at least.
Well,
this is built
I don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. Like I'm a thick dude and I ain't that big. So if you could just slide some shit out the way to get me a little closer, that's even better.
No, and I also appreciate those gestures of love for my old lady.
We've basically we're tapping into, you know, they have those like 5 love languages or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this is like an extra one. And it's not just physical touch. It is like physical allowing of penetration.
Well, my wife just knows that if she doesn't do that I'm going to end up trying to break her back, making her arch, you know, so I could try to get deeper like a.
Yeah, Lacey's going to love this show.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's going to.
She already knew, though. She already knew it was coming.
Yeah, we're going to need a third host here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All righty.
Oh, man.
Mike, you want me to throw up your little video here?
Yeah, let's go with the Nordstroms.
All righty.
fucking wild.
Oh, absolutely ridiculous.
Are they just grabbing a whole bunch of like polos and stuff?
Everything they can get their fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They take the mannequins too.
Like they're taking out the fucking anything they can get their hands on.
Bro. Oh my god.
That's a hell of a combined effort
Wild.
for everybody to be dressed like that and
They
everything.
wild in the
Hurry up.
And then there they go. It's-
Yo.
Go, go, go.
Come on, hurry up. Go.
Go. Y'all gotta go.
Go.
and then all of the effort by the people on the outside.
Go, run. Y'all gotta work together.
At least they got each other's backs, right? Like,
Yeah. And they're still dragging these things down the fucking road.
what? What on earth is that?
It looked like a little
Yeah.
pedestal with like
Right, it was
purses
holding
attached to it.
something.
They're probably going for that Louis Vuitton purses and shit.
Look at this man. He got
From
the whole
everywhere.
suitcase set. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Pop in
Y'all
the
gotta
trunk.
go. Look at, wait, he left the YSL purse. Go grab it. Baby, go give me that YSL purse.
And this is in a mall too, right? This ain't even like a standalone store.
Yeah, I mean, there's a parking garage, man. It's got to be a mall.
Yeah.
Am I a bad person to go? Can I go? Can I go get the purse?
I mean, I probably would have got that purse since it was already there. You know, like it was already in the middle of the road. What are you gonna do?
It's a free purse at
Yeah,
that.
I found this here. I didn't fucking take this out here.
Right?
I found it.
Look, I mean, that
And
store.
I'm not sure if you know the law, but finders keepers, losers weepers.
Absolutely.
That's actually in black and white.
I'm sure that store, you aren't hurting like Rothschild, Nordstrom, or whoever the fuck the owner is. Like, they got insurance.
Yeah, they got plenty of
right.
insurance.
Well, the
The-
question
the-
is
the
does that
coordinated
store-
effort. But go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I was like, the question is does that store restock and carry on, or does it, you know, like some of these other major stores that are like, yeah, we're closing the doors now. You know, some of the Walmarts now and stuff. And
Yeah, it was like
some of those
Walmart's
areas.
and Targets, I think, closed
Yeah.
down in Chicago.
Yeah, they're like,
I know
"No, we're
that
not."
it's a big problem out in California because they changed up their laws with like how much money's worth of stuff you got to steal before you can really get charged with shit.
Well, and I think like even at which point they'll even send police out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
where-
it all depends on where that store is, probably.
Yeah, no, of
Well,
course.
I mean, it's a Nordstrom's. It's probably pretty nice. In
Yeah.
a pretty nice area would be my guess. Maybe not. I could be wrong. But, I mean, they got away with a shitload of merchandise.
true.
Over $100,000 worth.
Well, I mean,
So
what are you going to do with a combined effort? Like, do you think that effort was planned, or do you think it was just?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
That's
Gotta
30 of the
I
homies
don't think
all
it's
in black ski masks.
I don't think it. Well, yeah, maybe.
You know, they're all masked up and everything. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't keep my black ski mask in the truck. You know, or I don't have it on my person. And if I see one of these things going down, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, we're doing it, buddy. Like, it's not running the mill for me. So that seems pretty fucking coordinated.
Well, what are they even going to do? Like, and even whether it was planned or not, like, what as law enforcement, what are they gonna do in that situation? Like, maybe get
fucking
one or two of
nothing.
them. The
Get
store is
one or
ruined no
two.
matter what. Yeah, the
The-
stores, the property is going to be gone no matter what.
The
you know?
security cameras, I'm sure, are going to pick up license plates and things like that. But with
Yeah.
everybody being masked and stuff, they can probably come up with excuses like, it wasn't me. I don't know who had that vehicle. I don't know who stole my car.
My car got stolen, and then someone returned it. You know,
Yeah.
It
Crazy.
I always leave. Yeah,
But so that video made me want to ask you guys, like, those people tactically acquired a lot of fucking gear right there. What is the craziest thing, most expensive thing that you had tactically acquired while you guys were in the Army?
Oh, this is easy. It's definitely my wife, for
Nice.
sure. Most expensive, elegant, you know.
There you go, elegant. There you go.
Yeah,
Toss that word in there to
beautiful,
save
Jeez.
yourself.
amazing.
God, for me, I don't know. I mean, on deployments, I was able to, especially my last deployment, because of the unit that we were kind of a part of and supporting, had a lot of awesome funding. So we had stupid stuff that we shouldn't have. Like I had, instead of, first deployment, I was in a tent with like 30 other dudes, and you're just beating off with a fucking barely a curtain in between you type thing. On the second
those
deployment,
are my favorite movie pictures when the laptop is reflecting it onto the side screen.
In the old Jack Shack.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah!
Spank bang.
Reflecting on the whoopee on the hanging up on the 550 cord.
But the last deployment I went on, I had a room probably bigger than the room that I'm in now, honestly.
Hey, cheers to that.
And it was awesome. And I had a 50-inch TV in there because we just had extra TVs lying around in a Connex. So I was able to have very large movies played in my room, whenever I wanted. That was pretty cool. But I didn't really acquire that tactically. That was just kind of happenstance. But I can't say this, through unit funds, I did get like $100 and something lockpick set, which I keep in my truck for when I need to tactically acquire other things. And then also I've got a whole bunch of medical equipment. We had extra CLS bags. I have like 3 or 4 IVs in my truck right now, just in case, because got trained to do the IVs. They're like, we were like, I don't know about you guys, but I think I was like one of the last rotations through basic training to do IVs, where you're actually sticking people. So I learned how to do it. I remember how to do it vaguely, but enough where I feel like with this expired IV bag, if I'm like out drinking somewhere and all of a sudden I got to sober up real quick, I can hook that shit up into the truck.
The lights turn on behind you and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Something like, well, I would never do that. I would never do that. But I would do it before driving in order to sober myself up, of course.
There you go.
And we all know medical equipment's expensive. So I got some pretty good medical shit, but I don't know about anything really big money item wise.
So I don't think similar boat. I don't know that I did wind up when I got out. I was in a similar situation. There's an Evo here, and that second deployment. First deployment, miserable, right? Like tense, right next to the flight line.
Miserable, but the best. Like,
it was
still awesome.
That was the best. I mean, you remember FOPSOP.
I say, Matt, your first deployment was also my first deployment.
Yeah. We were
different units.
Right. We were literally 20 yards from the run-up area for the shadow, and basically a lawnmower with the exhaust ripped off in your ear, like a supercharged weed whacker. But yeah, that second deployment was a lot better, very comfortable. And they didn't care. I get, as far as accountability of things that weren't super important, it was very laxed. So I think when I ended up getting out of the Army, I think I ended up with like no plates, but like a plate carrier, a couple different things that I think I lost it actually on a boat somewhere. But
I was gonna say, if I have anything that I shouldn't have, I wouldn't know about it. I still work for the Department of Defense.
No, real talk though, there used to be Sierra Vista over. You guys remember where that old Radio Shack was off Fry?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't know if it's still there, but there's an Army surplus store there. So we ended up taking, like a 2 tough boxes worth of crap there. And, I think we made like $500 on it or something like that with all the shit that we sold them. So nothing that we necessarily took, just things that maybe CIF didn't do the best job tracking.
I do have an extra gas mask. I got one of those. It was great for COVID.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's like, you got to mask up. Be like, okay. I'm going mop 3 or whatever.
What about you, Mike? So for me, I can very specifically remember one time. So my first deployment, but before I got to PSAB, we started out at a different FOB. We were there for like 3 months, and we thought we were going to stay there the entire deployment. So we started building shit. Well, we ran out of wood, and wood on deployment is like fucking gold. So we had found a place that did not secure their plywood. So we ended up getting, I think it was like 10 or 12 sheets of plywood to continue to build out shelves and fucking bookcases and shit. And then we also got 3 of their Humvee doors because 3 of ours were broken.
Nice.
It's very funny you just said that because you just jogged my memory on that first deployment at FOB PSAB. You remember the MWR that was there, the building that we built there? Well, It was me and Ringsmouth. Maybe he'll see this podcast. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. But we basically built it, and we didn't have any wood. But the CBs, they have everything, like all the building materials. So we drive over to their little lot at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning in our gator. We'd have like 16-foot 2x6s just laid across the gator as we're trying to drive through the T barriers to get it back. And we have no idea what's going to happen if we end up getting caught. Like, are they even going to say anything? Are you just going to get yelled at? Like, hey, our platoon sergeant said, get this done. We got it done,
Yeah. The closest to that was on our second deployment. We were starting to get mortared rocketed pretty regularly. And they were honing in on our location on the big FOB that we were on. And so our defense to that, or thought process of someone, was let's get some HESCO barriers and put it up around our compound, because we were on our own special little compound for SOCOM. And so we're like, we're going to go get some HESCOs, line our compound with it. That gives us at least some protection in case we get hit. One of those walls can maybe stop us from hitting a building. And so we started putting up HESCOs, grabbing them from the rest of the FOB. And then the FOB's commander came by or whatever and was like, these aren't yours and you're not allowed to have them. We're like, we're getting rocketed all the time. He's like, I don't care. You guys are in hard wall buildings. Probably because we had the nicest setup of the entire FOB. So our first sergeant, y'all know him, Casey, he made a call. And the next day, the CJ SOTF commander was at our little FOB and reaming out this fucking FOB commander. And he told us, he's like, you take whatever you want in this FOB. Anything that's not bolted to the ground, it's yours. I don't care.
Awesome.
So that was pretty nice. And like a day or two after we got those HESCO walls up, they got hit. So it actually helped out. It stopped our building from getting rocketed. So a bunch of the guys ended up bringing home a bunch of the shrapnel from it. Not me, of course. I was worried. I was like, I just want to get
no war trophy.
Right. Was it in a case or
trophies.
was it in their body?
In a case.
Oh, yes. Just making sure.
We had some fucked up dudes with us. They might have cornholed it, so it could have been in the body. I don't know.
That's true. That old prison pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Tonga HESCOs reminded me of a fucking story from my first deployment. Matt, we before I got to PSAB, we were at Logman.
Okay.
And it was an utter shit show the entire time. We were sitting in the talk one day, and they're going over the BUB, the battle update brief. And they are trying to get all these HESCOs filled because there's a section of HESCOs that's been all fucked up because a Shadow 600 that was flown by the Romanians flew right into the fucking HESCOs and just destroyed them.
Of course.
So
they always count on the Romanians.
Oh, yeah. So they're trying to fill these HESCOs, and this lieutenant briefs to the fucking battle captain. He's like, sir, we can't find enough dirt to fill up the HESCOs. He just very stoically pauses, looks at him and goes, the whole country's made of fucking dirt.
Oh my gosh.
No. Like,
that's funny.
Come on. Like, what do you mean you can't find enough? LT, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Well, since we're talking about improvement, FOB improvements and stuff, I got a question for you guys. What was the dumbest request that you've received from command while on deployment for FOB improvement or safety or security or whatever?
I don't know that I
I'm
got.
not sure I was ever asked.
I'll start one real quick.
We we had some good fob improvements for the areas I was at. Like we made our shadow shelters into essentially a pillbox on top of it. You know, we stacked it with sandbags and had a 240 on top of it. That was pretty cool, but unnecessary, but cool. I guess on that last deployment when we had the stupid funding, they gave us this security package for our compound out of nowhere that had cameras. It had seismic sensors and stuff that we buried, like all sorts, like electronic gate locks and things that were all controlled from this little laptop in a Pelican case where we could move the joystick around, move all the cameras individually to see who was coming to our fob. Because I mean, who we were supporting, we were slick sleeved. So you had your rank, your name tape, and U.S. Army, and basically nothing else on the uniform. And that's if we wore our tops. Most of the time, we were walking around in just our pants, our boots, and maybe a hoodie and a ball cap or something like that. And so we would be out, if we were in this uniform, out in the main part of the fob, we would have people come up to us all the time being like, hey, you're missing your patch. And be like, nah, I'm not. Like, we don't wear patches in my unit.
Right.
Like, bullshit. And you'd be getting into it with people a lot higher rank than you. And you'd be like, they'd be like, what unit are you part of? And be like, I can't tell you. Sorry. I'm not allowed to tell you. They would follow us.
Where you hand them a piece of paper. Here's the piece of paper.
I can do what I want.
Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
We would drive back in our Hiluxes to our little compound, and they would follow us. And then we'd close the gate on them and be like, open this up, and be like, you don't have the security clearances to get on here. We don't know who you are. And they would get so pissed. That was pretty cool.
Sound like the end of the fiscal year, someone was trying to spend the rest of the budget.
That's possible. The thing is that after we moved out of there, they gave
it up, didn't they?
They bulldozed it over. The unit that ripped out there with us was there for like a month or so, and they bulldozed over the whole fucking thing. So that's your taxpayer dollars, everybody.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Then they did the same thing at Passab eventually. Ended up just handing that over to the A&A.
All right. Well,
That's
I got
right.
a little
That
video
place
for
was
you guys. I got a video for you guys.
Fucking shithole.
Yeah,
I am trying to figure out what is going on with this. I saw this today. This definitely looks like it's south of the border, but I have no idea what the hell is going on here. I mean, there's some obvious what's going on, but I don't know what the true story is.
Oh my goodness.
God. That dude just got violated, dude.
Yeah. So
what the hell?
It looks like it's some sort of a backwoods rodeo or
is
something.
This a bad attempt at a? Yeah. Is this a fucking like Johnny Knoxville beer chug, but just very aggressive? Because they're out at some.
Did he drink the beer after, or
he didn't drink the beer after? At least not on the video, but he definitely lubed up that fucking beer bottle. Like there's a guy walking around with half a pint of some shitty cerveza up his asshole right now.
Who was the Squid Games doll in the ring?
I don't know. That's the clown or whatever that they used to scare the bulls up. But I didn't see no steers out there.
Right.
It's like the one guy jumping out and they didn't like his performance, so they're just going to shove a beer bottle up his ass.
Is that the rodeo?
I mean, that might.
Or is that the event? Because there were no steers in there, right?
None that I saw. Mike.
Yeah, I feel like I need a little bit more from like before that happened.
Yeah, I wish I had more backstory for y'all. God. I wish I did.
That's definitely rough.
Well, I got another video here from you, Mike, talking about some potential extraterrestrials that I'll.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's my favorite.
I'm so excited for this video because she finally spoke eventually. But this is classic.
I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not
This one's been going around a little
So
bit.
this video has been going around for a while. She just finally spoke today, but she's talking about lizard people. Congress is having hearings and they're saying that aliens are fucking real. Basically, everybody in the Department of Defense is like, there's probably some shit going on up there as well, but we're not 100% sure. Guys, aliens are fucking real. I think it's time that we just like, yeah, that's what's happening. There are aliens probably on planet Earth walking amongst us. We don't know who they are yet.
They are having those congressional hearings because there's that whistleblower who's from the Air Force, and he's, he hasn't seen anything directly, but he is been talked to about other compartmentalized programs that he knows people rub shoulders with who know things. If anyone's followed like the Bob Lazar stuff and the New York Times reporting and stuff that's actually been put out there now about UAPs and stuff, it all sounds somewhat plausible. I mean, there's something going on in our skies or unknown phenomena. What it is, I don't know. If you have to ask me, I absolutely think that there's probably some sort of other intelligent alien life out there. Whether or not they're here or not, I don't know. The most plausible theory that I've heard that kind of makes sense to me is that they've been here all along. They're just in the ocean. They've talked about, that Tic Tac UFO and stuff where they have those fighter pilots and stuff who were tracking and everything. And these things are going in and out of the water at speeds that they shouldn't be. And there's so much of the ocean that hasn't been explored.
That was the Titan 1.
Yeah, okay. Well, either way, there's a lot of the ocean that hasn't been explored yet. If I have to guess, it would be more likely that they're here, they're underwater, they're not being tracked because we don't know what's down there. Have a little bit of the abyss type situation or whatever going on.
I assume that they're not using carbon fiber for the hulls of their ships.
Probably not. And Logitech controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like Logitech.
I have to get that in there one more time.
Yeah, you just ruined our sponsorship with Logitech.
Sorry. Yeah. Damn it.
God damn it.
Yeah, but it wasn't their controllers.
And fault, Ocean Gate.
It was the way
now we can't work with Ocean Gate.
Oh man, the aliens thing.
You know what? That's all right.
I feel that way too, right? It's hard not to think that it could be possible. There's not a lot. It's mainly just the whistleblower, right? That's come out. There's nothing that's. And he hasn't released.
Well, they've been talking about UAPs for a couple of different times now in Congress.
Right.
The big release of information happened during COVID, which, if you're, one of the conspiracy theorists with it, hey, get people's minds off of the virus and onto aliens.
Right. No, yeah, exactly.
Or vice versa.
And that's easy. I mean,
if you really want to go.
That's the way it works. That's the way the government works. That's the way the media works. Is it's hard not to assume that these stories are just all of a sudden coming out for covering up other stories, right? So, and it's a whistleblower that didn't come forth. He didn't come forth any of his evidence. He's more hearsay from others or stuff that he has seen on paper or testimonies and stuff like that.
What's really interesting with him though is that with this whistleblower stuff, he can be prosecuted if he's found to not be telling the truth. So for him coming forward and going through all this, he understands the risk that he's putting himself through. So I feel like he truly believes what he's saying. He's also said that he would release a lot more information that he can't put out in the public spectrum because it has to be done in a SCIF, the secret compartmentalized information facility, which the members of Congress and stuff like that have said, okay, let's hear it. And then they get denied access to the SCIF. So other entities in the government are blocking him from actually divulging any of this information, which makes it even sound a little bit more shady. But look, if you guys want any sort of proof that there's aliens out there, I got it for you right here.
Cincinnati,
all right?
A beautiful night and all.
I say average Packers fan.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
Cincinnati.
Just want a piece of that cheese.
Tonight's first half highlights.
And the announcers
absolutely
are just doing a great job of holding it together there too.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So there are among us, everybody.
I mean, how can you not break up and laugh in that situation? Oh.
Your
That's
average
freaking
Packers
funny.
fan. I had to get my razzing of the Packers in here some way. I know this isn't the sports podcast, but I got to get after him. So,
Oh man,
aliens, UFOs. Do you guys have any extraterrestrial experiences out there?
I have not, and I'm very disappointed that I haven't. I would love to have one because I'm a massive believer that aliens are very much real.
If you
so,
keep eating those,
I'd like
Yeah,
to be
medicine-
proven right.
you keep having those
Yeah, I
medicinal
know.
gummies.
Oh yeah.
You might
Yeah.
see something.
Well, something's it's definitely kicked in. I don't know if anybody can tell, but
No.
Oh man, I should have planned better because I actually do have a video from my damn Ring doorbell or from my Ring camera. I'm gonna text Lacey, see if I can get it. Right, and basically, we were watching the back porch. It's actually this whole thing is stemming from an even better story. I think I told you, Mike, when we were meeting at Christmas, because teenage daughters wanted to try to her friends trying to sneak out and stuff like that around the house, whatever. Anyways, looking at these camera videos, we did see we had a cooler with like a cup on it, right? And the ring camera doesn't pick up everything. It doesn't record the whole time. It only records whenever there's movement. And literally within like a 5-minute span, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Back porch, completely dark, no access, like nothing is happening, no lights are on, no nothing. This is infrared, right? The cup moves like 3 feet, like just randomly. It was the craziest thing. I was drunk when we seen it, and I was scared as shit. Like I was
There
like,
couldn't have
trying to
been wind
act manly,
outside.
right?
no way.
No,
there couldn't have
I
been
don't-
wind out there.
I don't know, dude. It was like a tall cup. Like a wind would have blew it over. This was like literally, it just shifted. It wasn't. The thing it wasn't like you watched it move. No, it was in one position and then it moved. It was like and then appeared in the next position. You know.
Well, I got
I don't
one
know.
for y'all. And if I somehow get ghosted, y'all know why. All right.
So wait, hold on.
This is all
Are
alleged.
you thinking about hurting yourself before we do any?
Right.
Absolutely not.
All right, good.
So, yeah, I don't want to get Hillary Clinton. This is all theoretical. This is not a true story. But let's say that, we fly our aircraft sometimes across country and stuff like that, couple hour transits. Late night transit back, a lot of times we'll be just kind of be looking around with the camera because it's boring. We'll be transiting for like 3 hours or something like that. We'll look down at the village. We'll see who's going outside of their little mud huts to take a dump in their front yard,
Or meet
watch
up.
dogs fight, things like that. So either way, an aircraft allegedly is flying back, and all of a sudden we just see a big explosion. We're like, oh, cool, something to look at. It's not next to nothing. This is just open Afghan terrain with nothing in it. So we think the worst. We think fallen angel. We think an aircraft crashed. So we are starting to watch it. We're contacting ATC saying, hey, we just saw this big explosion. We think we might have just had a fallen angel. We see what looks to be wreckage on the ground and fire. And they say, you guys are the only ones out there on our radar at all. Like, there was nothing flying in that area. But they're like, can you continue watching it for a little bit and pump your video to us? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they contact us later to say, hey, a team's going out to check it. Happens to be a MARSOC team that we work with regularly and a JTAC that we work with regularly. We watch Chinooks come in, drop them off. We see the guys going around. We establish radio comms with them, say, yep, you guys are tally to the target. We see them kicking around the wreckage and stuff like that. 5-10 minutes go by. JTAC gets on the horn and says, there's nothing out here, guys. We don't know what you saw. Get on the helicopter and they dip. So kind of weird, right? Next day, some 3-letter agency shows up, wipes all our hard drives, and NDAs are signed saying we saw nothing. Now, it could just be a satellite, maybe fell out of the sky. Could be a spy drone or something like that got crashed. But I don't know. That's the closest thing that I would think that I could have possibly had to a UAV or UAP or UFO type story. I wouldn't know anything about that though, because that didn't actually happen.
Right, of course. But if it did
100%.
happen, that would be fucking weird.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I
no
was
one still has that
riveted.
video.
Right. Right. No, of course.
Yeah.
Especially not me.
Oh man. Well, you know what? This is one way to get famous real quick.
No sir. No sir.
Oh man.
That's wild, man. That's so wild. I don't know what I would even think though. Like if I seen like some of these videos that these pilots claim to have seen, you know, and there's so much shit out there, right? There's so like as far as
It's
the actual
so
capabilities
vast.
of what we have, like think about like the Blackbird or some of our most crazy military aircrafts that you can think of, right? What like how long they kept them covered up, how long they kept them in secret before they actually announced that our capabilities, what we had. You know, people were calling some of those aircrafts UFOs back in the day during their test flights.
A good point is that a lot of what could be seen right now that is UFO could be military or government contracts, you know, R&D technology.
I would even say the majority of it. The sad thing is our civilian populace, they don't even understand like the idea of that seems taboo. But when in reality, like with other individuals, veterans, things like that, like us, you're like, oh yeah, definitely could be a thing. Like for sure.
And I'll play devil's advocate with it here though, is that yes, we have seen in our history how we have been able to hide a lot of this bullshit and stuff like that, and how we are way more technologically advanced in some areas than we know about in the public sector. But also, we know how cumbersome and shitty the U.S. government can be about stuff.
Correct.
That's true. That is true.
And it's like if you know, me and Mike have a secret, we can probably keep a secret between the two of us as long as one of us is not a chatty Cathy. We had you in, Coop. We could probably still keep it pretty close knit, but you never know. One of us might blab. You start expanding that circle to the point of engineers and stuff working on these big programs, and you're talking about 50, 100 people, maybe more. Government, you know, politicians having to be read in on stuff to approve funding. At some point in time, someone's gonna slip up somewhere.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there, and I do agree to that to an extent. But it's also how compartmentalized. I can't even say that word right. Everything is too, though, right? Like Group A doesn't really talk that much to Group B. There's only one channel of communication, and Group B doesn't talk to Group C. And then the pilots over here in Group D, you know, they just get told when to fly, where to fly. You know, I think the actual number of people that may know what's going on is still pretty limited. There's probably plenty of people who assume, but are still covered by those fancy NDAs and everything else. You know, life in prison whenever you talk about things that you shouldn't, like things like, you know what I mean? Like, so I agree. But I still think, and even when it does start to come out, it's just conspiracy at that point. Right. So it's like, yeah.
And sometimes it turns out to just be a basement in a pizza place where nothing's happening. And sometimes it turns out to be Epstein's Island.
Right. Exactly. Or a pepperoni double cheese.
But you're making me hungry now.
Sorry.
I just know that there's entirely too many possibilities out there in the universe. There's no way they're not real. There's a good chance that they're not here, because I feel like that. I don't know if we could keep that a secret, but they got to be out there fucking somewhere.
I mean,
when you consider how old the universe is and how old we are to it, and how much we have technologically advanced in the last 50 years, expand that by an extra couple billion years in some other places. There's got to be something.
It would be very self-centered of us to think that we are the only intelligent life out there, because our universe revolves around us. That's a very self-centered thought. The universe is essentially infinite.
All of your guys' thoughts out there. All your guys' thoughts are relevant unless the Earth is flat. Right.
Well, we've all flown aircraft, and I know I've seen the curvature.
Yeah, I've been up high enough for that.
All right. You guys got anything else that you want to go over? Any fun topics for the talk?
Man, I didn't bring anything extra. I got my 3. Matt, did you have any other ones that you wanted to
I
put out
told you
there?
guys that I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. I apologize for that.
That's all right. Hey, man,
It's all
it's
good,
the
buddy.
first one.
We
Like,
don't
an
in
hour
real
is
life.
a pretty good show.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know
and
what? I do. I want to bring up kind of this one little topic I want to talk about was dealing with children, right? Dealing with our kids and the shit that we probably shouldn't teach them, or maybe don't realize that we teach them.
Yeah.
Right. For instance, so we're story time. We're camping, so we got our RV now. So we're doing a lot of camping. We're down in Pensacola, beautiful, by the way. And we're hanging out, and it is hot as balls. Like, this is, I'm telling you, it's like 105 degrees out. It's so miserably hot out. So of course we're not having no campfires. We're not doing anything like this. And the kids have kind of been, thankfully, we do more glamping than anything else. We got the ACs on in the RV, so nice and comfortable. And the kids have been doing a lot of hanging out in there because it was like 110. It was really hot. Well, anyways, someone across the way, they had a little, probably 7-year-old, 6-year-old kid, and the boys, you know, Isaac Jackson, go out there, they start playing with them, and they were setting up their camp, and they wanted to start a campfire over there. And they couldn't figure out, like, they were like, they really wanting to start it. So they're getting the wood, they're making this teepee, and they had, I think that one of the parents over there gave them a lighter, or like one of the stick lighters. They couldn't figure out how to use it. So, you know, Isaac comes over. He's like, Dad, this thing doesn't work, because he was clicking the one, but he wasn't pushing the child's safety for the fuel on the top. So I immediately, of course, because I'm a good father, grabbed it and said, all right, son, this is what you do. You push this forward, and then you click, and the flame comes on, and you see Isaac's light. It's just a light bulb, you know, like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, and instantly in that moment, I knew that I had fucked up. So, but they went on, they went ahead and tried to start that fire. And I'm waiting now for my smoke alarms to go off randomly in the middle of the day, because the boys have caught something on fire in their room. Probably shouldn't have did that, but you know what? Important life lesson, right? We got to teach our boys how to do shit. They got to learn. Learning is a result of experience, right? You can't just be told how shit works. You gotta really know how it works. Do it yourself.
Yeah. I think that while it's a scary one, we all had to learn at some point. And I feel like I learned how to use a lighter, or at least light a match and stuff like that, at a pretty early age. I know that I almost got myself into a bucket of trouble with it, though, because I just liked lighting shit on fire with my dad's lighters. He was a smoker, and I was out in my garage lighting shit on fire, and I lit a paper towel on fire that I wasn't paying attention to. It had a paintbrush with paint thinner on it, so that thing went out quick as fuck. And I pulled it off the table it was on, and it drops right in a propane tank, which probably would have been fine, but I mean, still, in my kid head, I was like, I'm about to blow myself up in the house. So I freaked the fuck out and got a hose, and I was hosing down the whole fucking garage. But as far as teaching kids stuff, you know, I got my girls' kids in my life, and I hope to be a father figure to them here very soon. But I haven't had an opportunity yet to really teach them anything that I shouldn't. And it is all going to be a whirlwind for me, I'm sure, when I get into it, because I'm just jumping feet first in with 7-year-olds. So I don't have the I guess safety net as much as you do with a young kid, where maybe they forget a little something. They're old enough to pick things up and learn it, and I am probably going to fuck up plenty.
Oh yeah, and they pick up
everybody,
and they're watching every move, dude, and they like absorb every ounce of what you do and say. It's crazy.
And God, for me, it's so different because Graydon is, you know, so much older than the girls. So when I teach Graydon something, like, even if it's something like he probably shouldn't, like, I've taught him how to light shit on fire so he can go start the fucking grill. He's learned so many things that I'm not sure there's anything that I've taught him that's quite yet out of bounds. However, while I'm doing that, what I'm typically doing is also teaching the little ones, so I don't have to teach the same fucking lesson multiple times, because I don't like doing that anymore. I mean,
Right.
I don't necessarily miss being an instructor at the schoolhouse, teaching the same lessons fucking over and over and over. So if I can knock out two people with one lesson, that's great. But then now my 5-year-old's like, oh, I know how to light shit on fire too. Or I know that I plug this in and I can use the fucking hair clippers. So it's not necessarily something that I hope comes to fruition. Like they actually act on all this new knowledge I have.
Right.
Hopefully just feel it out a little bit first before you just start doing dumb shit immediately, because they're kids. They're always going to do something incredibly fucking stupid.
Which they learn from every ounce of that. I'm actually waiting currently for my sons to come down with a broken finger because we just got some mouse traps for the garage. And they were so fascinated by me setting those up. They're like, where are they at, Dad? Like, can we go get them? So I got a little stick and I was like, well, this is what happens. And hit it, snap the stick. And they were like, wow.
Do y'all ever do that though? Like with things that it's like, oh, this is meant to hurt. And you're like, I'm going to try it and stick a finger in there. And you just like start a little bit and let it twap. And you're like, that's not that bad. And go a little bit further. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Well, have you seen the mouse traps? The mouse traps they have now, dude, it ain't even like back in the day. Back in the day, it was a danger just trying to set them. 9 times out of 10, they're going to snap. These ones, you just pull back and they're set. Too easy.
Oh, man,
takes away
technology.
That
Technology's fantastic, man.
The aliens are here. They're giving us this
are.
rat technology.
Yes, they are.
All right. Well, Mike, do you got anything else before we head out of here?
I have absolutely nothing else, but guys, this was fun.
Well, I got one thing, and this is a question I've brought up before, but and Matt's here now, and any opportunity that I get to put this out, I'm shooting for. So an argument between me and my girl. All right. This is the sour argument, Mike. All right. So you get out of the shower, all right? And I'm sure this has happened to everybody, but you get out of the shower, you're freshly clean, and all of a sudden it just hits you like, I got to take a shit. All right. So you take your shit. Are you then just going to wipe your ass with toilet paper? Or are you going to jump back in the shower afterwards? I mean, maybe you clean up a little bit of toilet paper, but me personally, I'm getting back in that shower afterwards and making sure that my chili ring is as clean as possible, because I just went from super clean and I don't want to immediately start off out the shower at all dirty. All right. Now, I'm not talking like you don't got anywhere to be. I'm not rushing to get to work. Nothing like that. I have a bidet, but I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm going to use my bidet. But what would you guys do? Because every female I've talked to has said, oh, I'm just wiping with toilet paper and going about my day. And that just makes me feel like they're all nasty heathens.
Yeah, that's just the absolute worst wrong answer possible.
They must shit different. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've been down there before and it looks normal to me on the female. But look, I've never seen them actually release log.
If I'm already out of the shower and I'm not still currently in and I can't just haji stomp it back down the drain, right? I'm going to get back in the shower and rinse my sphincter. I just don't. First, I always aim, right? I always try to shit before I even get in.
Sure.
Right? Like before I get in, I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down and try to take a little dookie. But if I'm out, I'm gonna get back in. I'm gonna rinse it out. Like I can't go. I just feel dirty still.
Yeah, the balloon knot to me, it's like it is forever unclean, but I can still get it pretty fucking clean,
right? With
a shower, and I like that feeling. I like to feel like I'm a fresh man,
right?
And so, look, I mean, I've had it before when I'm in the shower, got to take a shit. Yeah, I'm jumping out of the shower. I'm going to drop a duke, and then it's no problem because I'm going back in and washing.
That is the worst, though, right? You're slipping around on the fucking toilet seat, right? You can't even get your butt cheek spread, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. But I'm still happy to get back in that shower and be clean afterwards. Now, I mean, like, we
now,
can come
hold
with
on.
100 caveats.
I got a question for you then, Evo.
Okay.
You get out, you shit. Do you wipe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Even when you're soaking
not every
wet,
time.
Right?
Not every
you're
time.
in the shower, you're soaking wet, you get out, you fucking slip off the side because you're fucking soaked, and you try to wipe your ass, as soon as that toilet paper touches your wet butt cheek.
Yeah, and this is why
you know what I mean?
This is why there's only one fucking answer, and it's you get back in the fucking shower
and use your wife's loofah to wash it out.
right after you get out of the fucking shower and you wipe your ass with paper, you're not. I guarantee there's no way you're dry. Now I have all this wet paper stuck. No, fuck all of that. I'm getting back in the shower. And I'm going to rinse myself off, do whatever I got to do. And then when I get back out of the shower, I'm going to dry and boom, process complete. I don't have to worry about little chunks of fucking paper anywhere down in my nethers.
Yeah,
right.
Look, if you're walking around in the mud with your boots on, just when you get out of the mud, if you wipe it off with a paper towel, it ain't clean. We all know this, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
not to mention, once you're probably gonna rip through too, right? Like you're not gonna make it through that wipe.
Yeah. You have to use so much fucking paper there,
right? And it kind of slides. Like, no, I don't see it. I think they're all monsters.
Yeah, that's so far. Empirical data is showing that women are just disgusting creatures. All right. Well, that sounds like a good way to end the show.
Good way to end the show.
Women are monsters. We're the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Thank you for tuning in. All righty. Well, this was the first episode of The Talk, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, you like hanging out with us. You're able to have a little drink with us while we're watching. If you want to come on the show, let us know. If you got a video for us, let us know. Shoot it our way. We will get that out on socials and in descriptions of videos and stuff like that. So that way you have ways to contact us for it. But you guys got anything else?
I'm good, brother. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
All righty.
That's all I got.
Well, until the next time, I don't think we have a sign off yet.
I don't. Yeah, we're. This is still a work in progress. We're going to come up with something good though. I mean, we can go. You guys want to go at ease? I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore.
That seems very, very cheesy.
All right. Well, until the next time, we'll see you all later on The Talk.
Hard work.